Hi, I'm Gary Striegler, and this is a desk that I've been working on for a good bit, and I've shared a lot of videos on it. I'm down to the last step, which is making my top. Now, I'm going to make the top out of a piece of Baltic birch plywood and then edge band it with a piece of lumber, to cover up the plywood veneers. This is the edge band material I've made. It's just got a pretty simple router cut on the bottom. After I complete the edge banding, then I'll take a roundover bit and go around the whole thing at one time. Now, what's key when you're doing something like that is to make sure that I want to have a little bit of the lumber up above the plywood veneer so I can sand it down. What I don't want to have, well, it'll absolutely blow me up. This is kind of exaggerated, but if that veneer's up on top of there, when I try and sand down flush, I'm going to burn through the veneer and I'm going to have a problem. So what I've done to keep that from happening, my attachment is going to be these pocket screws and glue, but I've got these dominoes that I've cut in here, and those are going to really actually be primarily for alignment. The reason that I want to use the pocket screws is so that I don't have a lot of clamping time. I'm going to get the strength out of the joint between the glue, the plywood, and the pocket screws, and the dominoes are doing alignment. Now, you can certainly make a very strong joint just using the dominoes and glue, but then you have to clamp it both directions, and it takes a lot longer. And you could put just a biscuit in there for that alignment also, but one of the things I think, because the domino goes so much deeper into the joint, it tends to keep things flatter because it's further into the wood. Now, there is one trick that I did to make sure that I got that alignment where my lumber is going to be just a little bit above the face of the plywood, and that is when I cut the dominoes into the piece of plywood, I actually took about 3, maybe 4 layers of masking tape, and I put them there on the plate of the domino and made all the cuts in the plywood. Then I took it off when I was going to make the cuts in my lumber. And by the way, when you're making a cut in lumber like that, you actually want to have 2 pieces together so that you got more to sit flat on. But now that I've done that, I'm going to get a great alignment out of the dominoes. And I'm not even putting glue in these domino joints. You could if you want to, but it's just more things to mess with. But as I pocket screw this together, and you can see it up here, I'm getting a really good joint, a strong joint, and I'm not having to do any clamping. This is a great way to join edge banding to plywood.